So yeah, been some fantastic poetry tonight, and I have to say that I really like the one about fags. Can I thank you for the one about fags? Fantastic. I love fags. I mean, he was having a fag out there. You don't, that voice. You don't get a voice like that from vaping and sucking peppermints, do you? But there are consequences. I mean, I have smoked all my life, and my old lady, I call her my old lady, she don't like it. She says, old is derogatory and lady's just sarcastic. She says, she shouted from upstairs, she shouted, run upstairs and make love to me. And I said, now it's being sarcastic. Because, as a lifelong smoker, you can only do one or the other, you're not going to do both. But, it's not a great relationship. We're both looking for new partners, and her more assiduously than me, admittedly, but this is about my efforts to find a new partner. It's called Below Decks. I was feeling very lonely, I was feeling in despair, when a friend said, why not go online? You might find someone there. So I posted my particulars on a site called Meet Your Match, where a gorgeous woman half my age declared me quite a catch. She made promises poetic of some sexy calisthenics, giving rise to wise eugenics, kids as cute as cybernetics. She promised me a uniform with medals, stripes and wings, and these are a few of my favourite things. She promised golden sands in tropical lands, her hands all over me. Alas, my friends, it was a means to an end, and it turned out not to be. She was sensuous, adventurous, and she tied me to the bed when I was Mickey Finned in a Holiday Inn somewhere near Birkenhead. I'd been trauma-bombed and catfished by a fiendish femme fatale who worked for Spectre, Drax or Smersh or some such devilish cabal. Then I bound up, transported overseas, and it's hard to feel at ease with the Bahamas panoramas when you might end up sucked into space or swimming with piranhas, and you're apt to feel you've entertained ideas above your station, strapped to a table in a position of prostration with a laser beam that's aimed to end your means of procreation. I said I could work for you. Well, said Mr. Goldfinger, there's the odd job you could do. And so it began to seem my dream of being among the master race had ended grudgingly in drudgery's curmudgeonly embrace, uncluttering the guttering and unclogging drains of hair, below decks in the bowels of the Bond villain's lair. Well, feeling rather put upon, we decided to form a union. We wanted wages that were index-linked to keep up with inflation, better boiler suits and comfy boots and labour demarcation. We'd see if those in high command were really all that brave, faced with a list of our demands from a union rep called Dave. Poor old Dave. He sadly landed badly when they threw him off a gantry, ended up pickled in pieces in pots in the pantry, 'cause the monitor lizards needed feeding too. It was pretty much like living in a very vicious zoo. Yet I had made a cunning plan and I was ready to abscond when the doors blew off, and here's this bloke who said his name was Bond. James Bond. Yeah, great. I could see the final scene unfold, and it would be no party when we tried to attack him one at a time in single file, armed only with a very poor knowledge of karate. So I grabbed my stash and made a dash like poetry in motion, finding my religion as I dived into the ocean, where hungry barracudas make a meal of all intruders, leaving skeletons that ride the tides in flippers and Bermudas. But I drew my secret weapon to avoid a watery grave, distracting them with a very big bag of little bits of Dave. Poor old Dave. In short, they were distracted and this story is protracted. So let's conclude this mystery with history redacted. I was turned into a zombie marched in lockstep with the clock. But even walking with the undead ill-prepared me for the shock of my new job up the Amazon warehouse in Tilbury Dock. Thank you.